Welcome to my world, where every story unfolds.
All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're tackling a question that hits the wallet of millions of Floridians. Why is my car insurance so ridiculously expensive? It's a really complex issue, so we're going to break it all down, piece by painful piece.
This right here, this just hits home for so many people. This quote really captures that financial squeeze folks are feeling all across the state. We're not just talking about an inconvenience. For a lot of people, this has become a major, major financial burden.
And look, this isn't just a feeling. The numbers back it up. The average cost for full coverage in Florida is a whopping $2,912 a year. That makes the Sunshine State the third most expensive in the entire country for car insurance. So, how on earth did it get this bad?
Okay, so to really get to the bottom of this, we've got to start with the legal stuff. Florida's car insurance system is built on a pretty unique foundation that sets it apart from, well, almost everywhere else. And that foundation is called the no-fault system. Florida is actually one of only 2 states that makes drivers carry this kind of coverage, which is known as personal injury protection, or PIP. So the whole idea is, after a crash, you go to your own insurance company first to get your initial medical bills paid, no matter who actually caused it.
Now, in theory, this is all about speed, getting you benefits for your medical bills and lost wages right away without having to wait for a long investigation to figure out who's at fault. But, and this is a big but, a system that's built for quick payouts can also, ironically, be a magnet for fraud. And check out those limits. It's only 80% of your bills up to 10 grand. Plus, that 14-day window to see a doctor, that is absolutely critical. If you miss it, your claim could just get denied flat out.
So that's the big question, right? If the whole point of this no-fault thing is to be more efficient and keep people out of court, why are Floridians paying through the nose? Well, as you're about to see, the PIP system is just where the story begins.
Yeah, that PIP system is just one piece of the puzzle. Because the truth is, a bunch of other risk factors all come together in Florida to create what is basically a perfect storm for insurers. And guess who ends up paying for it? Yep, you do.
Let's start with a number that's just staggering. Get this. Over 20% of drivers in Florida have no insurance at all. Just think about that for a second. That's more than 1 in every 5 cars you see on the road, way above the national average. And when an uninsured driver causes a crash, well, the rest of us, the ones who actually follow the law, end up footing the bill through our own policies.
And it doesn't stop there. Florida has this reputation for being a place where lawsuits are just incredibly common. Insurers talk all the time about the huge number of lawsuits, staged accidents, and, just outright fraudulent injury claims that make doing business in the state a massive, expensive headache. And then you've got something you just can't change: the weather. We're talking about Florida, right? So hurricanes, tornadoes, massive floods. These things can wipe out thousands of cars in a single event, leading to enormous, widespread claims that insurance companies have to pay out.
So, you see, it's not just one thing. It's this crazy mix of everything. You've got one of the highest car theft rates in the country, you've got super dense populations and packed roads, you've got sky-high healthcare costs, and on top of all that, you have large populations of both young and senior drivers who, statistically, are just a higher risk. Every single one of these factors gets added to the pile, making your premium bigger and bigger.
Okay, so after all that doom and gloom, the story has actually taken a surprising turn recently, and honestly, it's some welcome news for a change. Yeah, for years and years, it's just been one price hike after another, super painful. But some legal reforms that went through in 2022 and 2023 started to tackle that whole lawsuit problem we mentioned. And it looks like they're actually starting to work, leading to some unexpected good news for drivers.
And we're seeing real results. Just look at this. In late 2025, the big players started to react. State Farm actually cut its rates, saving its customers over $1 billion collectively. And Progressive, they're giving back nearly $1 billion in rebates, which comes out to about $300 per vehicle. That's a pretty clear sign that these reforms are having a real-world impact.
Okay, so we've got these huge systemic problems on one hand and a little bit of recent relief on the other. So what does this all mean for your bottom line? What can you actually do about it?
Look, you can't stop a hurricane, and you can't rewrite state laws yourself, but there are things you can control. And seriously, the #1 most important thing you can do is shop around. Don't just stick with the same company year after year. Get quotes from at least 3 different providers. You would be amazed at how much the prices can vary for the exact same coverage.
Of course, bundling your home and auto, maybe raising your deductible a bit, and always asking about discounts, those are also smart moves.
And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? These new reforms are great. They're giving people some breathing room right now, but they're fighting against these massive long-term trends. You've got more and more people moving to Florida, and the risks from climate change aren't going anywhere. Can car insurance in the Sunshine State ever be truly affordable? That's the challenge everyone there is facing.
If your brain's tired from all that knowledge, take a little break and vibe with my songs. Let the music refresh your mind. See you in the next video.